take a brief intermission because Jason can't do a show without his hat on. So stand by. We are about to start. So we are here. All right, flag on the play for freaking Double J. Flag on the play. I didn't have a hat on, and as you can tell, I just got out of the shower, so my hair's all wet. And I ain't feeling doing a show without my hat on. It's just me, just how I roll. Miss Pittsburgh in the house. What's up? Mike Miller in the house. Thank you guys for being there. Big Russ in the house. Good to see you guys. Double tap that screen for us here on Steel City Live. Get us those likes. Get us sent out into the YouTube algorithm. I truly, truly appreciate it. As we're diving in here with yet another week of Steelers football, week 13. Week 13. I think I'm right. I think it's week 13. I hope I'm right. Let's see. The Steelers are 8-3, so that's 11. The Steelers had a bye. That's 12. Yes, week 13. All right. Just making sure. Just making sure. Thank you, man. I appreciate you loving the rants, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, you do need to take a few days, man. And whoever Jeff Benedict is, he's a moron. You can tell him double freaking J. Jason said it for Mike Drop Sports. Jeff Benedict, you are complete and utter moron. Steelers have one more game. Who even is Jeff Benedict? If I don't know you, and I watch lots of Steelers shit, dude, well, listen to a lot of Steelers shit, and I've never heard his name ever in my entire life, that must mean you're irrelevant, and that must mean that you don't even know anything that you're talking about. I've just started out my journey here, so for you not to know my name is cool. I don't care. But I don't know who this dude is. Whoever he is, I wouldn't be listening to somebody that's telling you the Steelers are going to win one more game this season. Because frankly, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Sorry, guys. Whoever these people are that are telling you this do not know this football team in any way, shape, or form. They're taking a stab in the dark to poke at the Pittsburgh Steelers to say, hey, they're going to fall apart. They're going to disintegrate. And then they're going to try to achieve that told you so moment. They're not looking at this team and saying, this is the nuts and bolts. This is how this team rolls. This is what this team is bad at. This is what this team is good at. This is the opponent. They're not breaking it all down. They're just trying to create clickbait and told you so moments, and that's all they're ever doing. They're not giving you the honest truth. They're not talking about the football team in a logical sense. They're not doing those things. All they care about is you viewing, you clicking on that show. That is it. They want gotcha moments and clickbait moments. That is it. That's all these people do. That's it. And I try to warn you off of those. So you guys should definitely not be supporting some of these people that do that for a living, man. More like only one more loss. I would hope 13-4 would be an actual real thing. And that could possibly be something that, may happen, may not happen. Now, I seem to think this, guys. And I'm going to give you my Steelers rundown. Let me catch up on the chat for 1 second. And then we're going to go back to what Russ said. 13-4, win the Super Bowl. And that's, what we're going to focus on here. Because I'm going to give you my true prediction of what the Pittsburgh Steelers, in my eyes, could possibly do here. And what is a realistic expectation if you were a Pittsburgh Steelers fan to lay your hat on. But first, I want you to double tap that screen and hit that like button. I know there's more than 9 of you in here that are loyal listeners, so make sure you're double tapping that screen for us or hitting those 3 little white dots, hitting that drop down box and hitting that like for us. Yeah, you're always going to get them, Russ. No doubt about it. What's up, Andy? Another Wombat. Danny George in the house. I've been loving the energy on the podcast. Thank you, another Wombat. Appreciate you, man. DJ Thomas in the house. A bunch of nobodies talking trash on the Steelers. How am I not surprised? Absolutely. Go on to Twitter. Go on to Twitter. And look at all these bullshit accounts like Justin Jefferson forever, or Justin Fields burner, or dumb shit like that have literally 20,000 followers on it. This is how dumb fucking people are, my friends. This is how fucking stupid people are. They follow these accounts. They have 20,000 followers. You've monetized these people. They make money off of you clicking onto it. They make money. And literally are putting out useless, trash information that's not even real information. It stabs in the dark, again, guys, to create controversy and clicks and gotcha moments. That's all they're looking to do. They don't know anything. They don't know what they're talking about. And that's cool. If that's the life they want to live, live it. I could do that. I could hide behind some bullshit name and you can never see my face, and I could say controversial things to get clicks and do that. That doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that type of shit out. But I'm not doing that. That's crazy to me. And it gives other people bad names and it puts bad taste in people's mouth. But yet Steeler fans flock to these accounts. Flock to them and pound them with followers and subscribers, and it makes no sense, man. Makes no sense. Let's keep going. Robert Road in the house. Danny George, we did Danny. Good to see you guys. Big Russ, DJ Thomas. All right, guys. I'm gonna go back, like I said, to Joshua Shields in the house. What's up, man? Just a normal dog. Texans aren't better, my friend, and we will talk about that maybe. Maybe stick around, maybe hit the like button, maybe hit the subscribe button, maybe do all those things, and we may talk about your Houston Texans. But first, guys, 9 likes isn't enough. Double tap that screen. Let's get those likes up. Let's get this show sent into the YouTube algorithm as we are just getting started here on a Tuesday edition of Steel City Live here on Mic Drop Sports, the best damn sports show in, we're not going to just say YouTube, we're going to say America. The most truthful sports show in all of America, yes, is here, right here on Mic Drop Sports. But we are going back to that comment Russ made. One of our moderators, Russ, are one of our loyal listeners in there, always commenting, Big Russ. You all know Russ. Russ made a comment, said 13-4. 13-4. I'm not putting it out of the realm of possibility. I'm not. But let me break down how I think the rest of this season's going to go. You have to play the Baltimore Ravens one more time. You have to play the Cleveland Browns one more time. And you have to play the Bengals twice. One of those coming up Sunday against the Steelers. This Sunday. So there are 4 divisional games remaining. You sit 1-1 in the division, 8-3 in the standings, 8-3. You're still atop of the AFC North. You hold that tiebreaker game against the Baltimore Ravens. How I could see this season playing out for the Pittsburgh Steelers is quite simple, in my opinion. You're looking at trends, how they play in certain situations, Thursday night footballs, those types of games, Monday night football, you're looking at whose place are they playing in. Take, for instance, the Philadelphia Eagles. That will become part of this equation. The Kansas City Chiefs, where are you playing them? You are playing them at Acrisure. They look very, very beatable right now. At that time when the Steelers play them, they could be resting players. It could be that possibility if they continue to find ways to win. That, I think, is big. So let's talk about the divisional games first. The divisional games, in my opinion, will be one in which it's a coin flip with those games. But I'm going to give you how I think this is all going to play out for the Steelers. I think they rebound here this Sunday, and they defeat the Cincinnati Bengals in this first game of the series in 2024 against the Bengals, which I think puts the Bengals now into a place that is going to be very, very difficult in order for them to make the playoffs. They would have to run the table. The Bengals could literally only afford one more loss to still have a actual real life opportunity to make the playoffs. Right now, they are on absolute life support. Every game they're going to be playing for their season, and I don't know if they are going to be able to withstand that type of pressure from now until playoff time and continue it through the playoffs. And that's what scares me about teams like that do get into into the playoffs, and the Steelers have been one of those teams before that they just give it all they got the whole way through because they were so behind the eight ball. They end up making the playoffs, and it's a bad matchup because why? They're beat up, they're bruised, they've given it all already, and they ain't got nothing left in the tank. But again, the Steelers get back on track here this Sunday against the Bengals. They get that W, that much needed W. That sends the Steelers to that 9-3 magical number for me. That 9-win mark is that magical number to where you start to have that door open for the playoffs. That 9th win that gets you into that for sure type mix to where you have a little bit of a margin for error. Now, all you really got to come up with is 2 wins. That will get you into the playoffs in the AFC in 2024, in my opinion. 10 wins, depending on tiebreakers. Just saying. So, the Steelers get that dub against the Bengals. I do think that they lose to the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. And I'm just saying that because I said at the beginning I thought they split this season. So, there you go. There's one more loss to the Baltimore Ravens. But when the Cleveland Browns come to Pittsburgh, I believe the Pittsburgh Steelers will beat the Cleveland Browns. So there's another win in the column of the Steelers. There's 10, if you ask me. And now you're looking at 10-4, in my opinion. And I'm not going in any particular order. I'm just going to preach out the total prediction here. So now you're at 10-4. You got to play the Bengals one more time. And I think this is the season they sweep the Bengals again and grab that W. And because I think the Bengals will just be a football team that's in turmoil because they ain't going to have a chance at the playoffs by the next time the Steelers face them. So there is their 11th win of the season. Now what it comes down to is these Chiefs and Eagles games. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers split those. I think that they beat the Kansas City Chiefs on Christmas Day in Acrisure Stadium. If they played in Kansas City, I would say the Steelers lose that game. But I think since it's at home on Christmas, I think the Steelers win that because you have the Chiefs traveling on a major holiday. And I think the Chiefs look beatable right now. So we'll see. And again, they may be resting players. We don't know. So that gives the Steelers that 11th win. Yes, 11th win. No, 12th win. 12th win. So I have them at 12 wins. And then we get to that Eagles game. And that's the game that's kind of up in the air for me. The Steelers have played historically bad at the Link. They haven't been able to really have a lot of success playing the Eagles at the Link in Philadelphia. And I think the Steelers dropped that game, giving them their 5th loss of the season. And that makes the Steelers finish 12-5, in my opinion. I feel like that's where they finished, 12-5. In no particular order were those games. I don't have the schedule in front of me, and I'm not going to sit here and try to remember it all. But again, 12-5 is how I feel this Steelers team ends up at the end of the season. I feel like that will be good enough to win the AFC North. Even if the Baltimore Ravens are able to have a phenomenal last part of this season and get to the same record as the Steelers, 12-5, because they already have 4 losses, and the Steelers hold significant tiebreakers against them. That's how that will work. So last night the Ravens did get the one against the Chargers, so they both have that one. But common opponents, the Steelers are in the lead with that. The Steelers have beaten teams that are over 500 and 5-0 this season right now with that with teams that are doing well. So yes, that's where I think the Steelers finish. I feel like they win the AFC North. Now, in terms of playoff seedings, I don't like them as the 3 seed. I think it's a very difficult path, at least the way I think this all plays out and the bracket will look like. I think you'll end up having to play the Chargers, and I don't like that. I think that would be a bad matchup for the second time around, but that's just me. I would really honestly need to see for the prime and optimal chance to make it to the AFC Championship game, I would need to see them in the 2 or the 3 or the 4 seed or 5 seed perhaps. That's where I'd kind of like to see them for the most optimal chance, in my opinion. But that's just me. That's just me. I'm thinking ahead, guys. A little think session here. But that's where we are. Back to the chat, guys. We're going to talk about George Pickens also. And what are some teams doing now? Are their game plan going to be? Is the game plan going to be for opposing defenses to frustrate George Pickens to the point that they can absolutely dominate him? Possibly. We're going to dive into that too. That's been bugging me. Let's keep going. You guys are talking back and forth there. Let's keep going. 12-5 realistically from DJ. Just a normal dog. Yippee. Chiefs, Eagles. Split. Win one. Lose one. Beat the Ravens. Split with the buttholes and destroy the Browns. 12-5. Yeah, a lot of people were on board with 12-5. Danny George, Panthers almost got the Chiefs, so I say Chiefs are not that great of a team. DJ Thomas, that's what I'm thinking. Danny, I could agree with you and why you're thinking that, definitely. But that is another prime example. What the Panthers were able to do against the Chiefs is another prime example of what? Any given Sunday. And it just shows you how easy it is to lose a game or come close to losing a game inside of the NFL. That's why I think that a lot of fans overreacted about this Browns football game. There's too many variables at play to really pin this as an ugly loss for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Did it suck? Abso-fucking-lutely it sucked. But guess what? Any given Sunday, it can happen, guys. I am sorry. I got to quit and eliminate the F-bomb out of this show. I'm going to have to get a swear jar every time I throw the flag. Throw the flag. Throw the flag. Every time I do that, I'm going to have to find myself $1. Maybe that'd be the only way I make any fucking money here. Oh, my Lord. Flag on the play. But anyway, let's back. Beer Malls in the house. DJ Thomas. Bengals are us the last few years. Need help, can't lose. They can't do it like we can. And they're suffering. And their season Sunday. Here we go. Absolutely. I love it. Wave that terrible towel for Miss Pittsburgh. Mark Malone in the house. Yeah, I think we pound the bungholes twice, too. James Bauman, good evening. Mike Drops family, good evening to James Bauman. DJ Thomas, if the Ravens lose and the Steelers win on Christmas, got to go live or get a beer or something. I will definitely be live for sure on Christmas after that. Usually our stuff's all done in the morning with the kids and things of that nature. We'll have dinner and things, but we've been trying to do a little bit later dinner on Christmas Day and kind of wait till the evening time and have like candles and make it real mellow and chill. So we'll see. But you never know. I definitely will. Gunner Reacts 21. Hi, it's my birthday. Well, shout out to Gunner Reacts 21. Happy birthday, Gunner. DJ Thomas, Bengals, Browns, Eagles, Ravens, Chiefs, Bengals. Danny George, happy birthday, Gunner. Joshua Shields, happy birthday. Let's go. Hit the shit out of that like button. Subscribe to the best show. We're not saying in town anymore, Miss Pittsburgh. We're saying this. The best show in America. It is true. It is true. I may be a little bit biased. I'm just saying. All right, guys, you got to double tap that screen. Get that like button fired up here for us on Steel City Live. I'm your host, Jason, as always. George does have to get it together, no doubt about it. Joshua Shields, I can see 12-5 indeed, but hopefully we will fix the problem of the offensive line and not have so many penalties beat those Bungles. I can see 12-5 from James, but they got to stop all the switching the quarterbacks. Yeah, I think that is a dumbass thing they do. Anybody that watches me for any length of time knows how I feel about gimmicks. I hate gimmicks. Gimmicks suck. Gimmicks don't win championship. Gimmicks aren't it. Now, do you want other teams to fear, having to prepare for what? A fucking run up the middle, a run to the outside by Justin Fields? Ooh, okay. Wow, whoopee shit, boy, you're reinventing a fucking wheel there, aren't you, Artie Smith? Woo, baby. Damn, what an offensive fucking mind that is, huh? I just don't get it. If you're going to bring the man in the game, make sure there's some freaking play that is actually designed to have some sort of success, some sort of surprise, some sort of complexity to it. Not just Justin Fields comes in and read options and runs. That's easy to defend. I could get 9-year-olds to defend that shit. That's weak. That's weak. You gotta be better. This is 18 years under Mike Tomlin, and we are still running basic 1970s bullshit plays in the NFL in 2024. It's not 1974 anymore. How many times already this season have you lost to shitty teams because you were ultra conservative in your play calling on offense? You left it into the hands of your defense late in the game after they had already been beat the shit up during the game, and you failed. How many times do you have to be bitten before you learn your damn lesson, Mike Tomlin? How many times? I'm just asking. I'm asking for a friend. Downtown John Broadway in the house. I gotta move the mic back. I feel like I've been screaming up a storm. Also, I like to see three-step ball out to slow down defenses. That's from James Bauman. Absolutely, guys. And the middle of the field is wide freaking open, and that's why every time they throw it there, it's a completion. That is why. Why? Because no one guards over it. No one. No defense guards over that for the Steelers. Nobody ever looks at it. And when they do it, it's an absolute surprise. And the Steelers are successful. They've completed passes to Big Darnell. They've completed, the couple passes they've thrown to Pat Freiermuth. They've done those things and been successful. Utilize it. And I love the way Russ is playing. I love the way he came in, has provided veteran leadership. But guess what? If he doesn't want to do it, let Justin do it. If Justin doesn't want to throw over the middle of the field, I don't give a shit. Put Kyle Allen in. Kyle Allen, at least when he came in for those couple plays, he saw standing there on the sideline week in, week out. He knew exactly that nobody ever covers the middle of the field. And where did he go with his first pass of the game? His first and only attempt, I do believe, of the season. Right up the gut, right up the seam. That's how it worked. That's what it was, is what it is. Downtown John Broadway, not 1994, 2004, not 2014. No, it's none of those. It's 2024, and this is a scoring league. You got to put up points. Craig Werlo, Tomlin's stubbornness has cost them every year. And it has. It has. And I've applauded Mike for the situations this season in 2024 in which I thought he's done a phenomenal job. But you cannot regress. You cannot just slip back into bullshit. You gotta keep moving forward, man. And I'm so sick of it. He used it in that damn press conference today. We don't live in our fears. That is the stupidest ass thing he can ever freaking say. It's stupid because he lives in his fears every single freaking week. The Steelers own the Ravens. That's from Football Goat 57. Downtown John Broadway. Tomlin just has one standard. Jeez. And it's a low one. It's a low one. DJ Thomas, I don't know why it's not CA3, Muth, Washington, over the middle, over and over until teams prove they can stop it. Then run the damn ball or deep moon ball. DJ, I've been screaming it too, brother, because you're spot on right. You're accurate. Name how many times they used that drag route with Calvin Austin III, a guy that's so freaking fast. Why do you never see him drag across the middle of the field and get the ball dumped to him and let him run out in space? Why do you not ever see that? Why? Whenever the most important thing offensively is getting your playmakers into space and allowing them to work. That is the most important thing, and that is the only concept that wins in today's NFL. Thank you. Beer Mouse laughing. James, Craig Werlo, the middle of the field is on the milk carton for the Steelers. Yeah, it's a lost art, man. It's a lost art. No doubt about it. Here we go. Steelers from Miss Pittsburgh. DJ Thomas. I've never seen a wide receiver more open than CA3 back. To back and look, dude, is open. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of times there's some coverage sacks. I'll give you that. There's some coverage pressures. I give them that. But there's a lot of times that if you hit that third step, that back foot, and you rip that football, you fire that fucking pigskin, you're going to make a good big play. Because there are people open. There are people NFL open. And Russ has fallen into a little bit of rut. I don't think that he was been bad. I don't think he's been doing it the whole time. These last couple games, though, he needs to get back into firing a damn ball. Yes, he's overdoing it with the deep shots, guys. He is. You use the deep ball to do what? Stretch out the defense. You do that not all the time, not every play. And if you're not going to attack the middle of the field, what the hell are you stretching the defense out for? Because it doesn't freaking matter. They're playing the deep ball. They're playing the outside edges. They're playing the outside short to intermediate. And they don't give a shit if you dump it down right in front of them, right by the line of scrimmage, because they'll gang tackle you and rally to the football. It's a simple defensive philosophy to play the Pittsburgh Steelers. Get there with minimal numbers, which you typically can, and force Russell Wilson to use the middle of the field, and you win. Easy. Easy as 1, 2, 3. DJ Thomas, I've never seen a one receiver. He did that. James Bauman, Welker, and Edelman made a lot of money on those drag routes. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely, because they work, and people want to reinvent the fucking wheel, I'm telling you. And that's what makes these coaches fail. And it's not just for the Steelers, guys. It's for a lot of teams. That's why a lot of coaches fail at every level, because they want to reinvent the wheel. They want to think that they are smarter than everybody else that's come before them. Instead of doing the right thing and taking these concepts that have been built and passed on for generations that have been absolutely dominating, and finding the correct personnel, because that's the key to get any concept to work, finding the correct personnel to put in the positions to execute said concept and attack. That is how it works, man. It's simple. It's easy. And yes, how do you become inventive? How do you become inventive? You don't have to reinvent the whole damn thing. How to be considered inventive is what? Taking concepts that have worked prior and adding your twist into it. That's how you become inventive. You try to invent a whole new damn thing, it usually doesn't work in the NFL. It doesn't work in college. It usually doesn't. You gotta take concepts that have been done. I'm more mad that we don't try over the middle like a poor effort given versus throw an INT, at least make the teams respect it. Absolutely. I'd rather throw an interception here and there and make teams start to fucking play you honest. Craig Werlo, Washington could be Eric Green 2.0, but got to use the middle of the field. Why is it we see it, but they can't? They do see it. But again, Craig, what are they trying to do? They are outsmarting themselves. They try to be what Najee gets. What gets Najee in trouble? Trying to be somebody that they're not. Or what happens with the Pittsburgh Steelers? They overdo shit. They are too predictable. That gets them in trouble too. All right, guys, I got to get a drink. I know we have a lot more likes in us right now. Get that like button hit. Double tap that screen. That gives a like to the show. Or there's 3 little white dots in the upper right-hand corner or upper left-hand corner. I don't freaking know. Hit them 3 little white dots. The drop-down box comes. You hit the like button. It's free. It's easy. And you get more shows put out there into the YouTube algorithm to allow little guys like us, that none of these people that, are above us are going to reach back and try to help out and pull along. No, we got to fight and claw. So hitting that like button is very, very important. Also, guys, we are just about to hit 3,700 subscribers, so make sure, if you aren't subscribed, to subscribe to the channel and America's best live show here daily on Mic Drop Sports. I'm your host, Jason. As always, let's keep going here. Downtown John Broadway says, here's a thought. Could it be because of what happened to Antonio Brown against the Bengals that Tomlin is afraid? No, I think that that's not it. I just think that they live in their fears in terms of interceptions and things of that nature. I feel like, too, they are, again, trying to outsmart everybody and reinvent the wheel, and they're not doing a very good job at it. I don't think that that's a factor, though, downtown. Now, could I be wrong? Maybe, but it's a good thought you had there for sure. Tom, man of Steel Ford in the house. What's up, Tom Ford? I'm sad to say that the Steelers are going nowhere under Tomlin. I believe it was Tomlin's fault that the Steelers lost Thursday. I think he was part of it, Tom. He wasn't the sole reason, but definitely you are very right in saying that he was part of that problem and a major part of that problem. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I had to fix my flag, guys. Flag on the play. All right, guys, let's keep going. John Broadway, Tom Ford, don't be like that. We're going to do something. Daniel Warman, hey, everyone. Sorry, had to reboot my phone. The Bengals have no secondary, can't stop the run. Our offense is on point. It's going to be a high-scoring game. Thanks, buddy. Here's the thing. Joe Burrow typically has some rough times with TJ Watt. The Bengals have a rough time turning the ball over against the Steelers. They have a rough time giving up sacks. And with the addition of hopefully Alex Highsmith back to the lineup with Herbig, with Preston Smith, I think that it could be a very long day for Joe Burrow. Now, I don't think that this is going to be some slobber knocker of a crazy game to where it's just going to be balls out, a lot of points scored. I don't. I think this score is going to be somewhat normal. We'll say I could see either team getting to the 30 mark, but I couldn't see either team getting into the 40s. There ain't no way. And honestly, I don't know if Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are enough to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. I just don't know. They are very good ball players. Joe Burrow is very good. Jamar Chase is very good. The person I worry about the most is T. Higgins, because that typically guys like him usually give the Steelers problems, but we'll see. I just don't see this to be a crazy high score, but it could be in the middle there. High 20s, maybe a 30, or very low 30s, but anything above that I think might be a little bit too much. But it should be fun, Daniel, for sure, buddy. Kevin Lynch, great QBs can pass anywhere on the field. Oh, absolutely, man. Robert Rowe, one of my favorite things to say is they are trying to reinvent the wheel, but in the end, knowing beats the round wheel. Yes, no doubt. Tom Ford, Tomlin already won. He got his non-losing season. Not yet, Tom. He got to win one more. Baby. He ain't got it yet. He ain't there yet, baby. Ain't enough no more when you got 17 games. 8 ain't enough. You got to get 9. Craig Werlow, just like when they pitch it outside to Najee, instead just hitting up the middle. So frustrating. Beer Malls, I hear that at Tom, man, it's still 4. Okay, he's talking to Tom. James Bauman, if they hit the middle, quick slant drags will take pressure off the line. They commit 5 to 6 almost every play because the Steelers' pass plays take too long to develop. Yeah, James, you're right. You have to incorporate those quick hitters, bro. You have to, and that does help out the offensive line, and it's an extension of the run game. DJ Thomas, is it possible that they don't want to throw over the middle of the field because if Wilson throws INTs, chance will come for Fields and or the other way around? Maybe, but here's the thing. Mike Tomlin says he doesn't live in his fears, so why the hell would he care? I'm just saying, to be quite honest with you, like he says constantly. And guys, I'm telling you, I've studied psychology, and many of you out there have studied psychology. Anybody that says that continually, repeats it over and over and over, is a bona fide habitual liar. A bad liar. That's Mike Tomlin. He says it constantly. He has a real issue with saying it. He is a liar. And now that may very well be this. And I'm not saying Mike Tomlin's a liar just personally. I'm not. But what this may very well be is when he's up at that podium, he doesn't want to give anything to the media in any way, shape, or form. So he's lying to the media constantly. And when he's posed with questions about Broderick Jones, when he's posed with questions about the quarterback position, when he's posed with questions about the wide receiver position, specifically George Pickens and some of his antics sometimes, he always says to be quite honest with you because he doesn't want to give you the real answers. So that may be it. I'm not calling Mike Tomlin a liar out in the real world because I'm sure he's a decent dude. I'm just saying. We're going to have Bengal Burgers as our D is going to eat. Robert Rowe, the Colts, Cowboys, and Browns all struggle against the run, and we struggled against them. Absolutely, man. We never beat the teams that struggle against the run. We run like shit. Najee Harris, though, guys, we've praised him when he hit those 100-yard games, but he is not consistent enough. He just drops off a cliff sometimes, and you wonder where's Najee. And you can't pay a top guy that money for that kind of shit. You can't. And just to have a few good games here and there isn't enough in the NFL. I'm sorry, it's not. Wave that terrible towel for Miss Pittsburgh. Fuzzy 420, here we go. Steelers, Tom Ford says, I want to get T. Higgins this offseason. Yeah, man, T wouldn't be bad. Downtown, Tomlin isn't able to have anyone better thinking than him. Yeah, he might be an egomaniac. That I could say for sure. Another Wombat, Najee definitely disappears at times. Yeah, he does. He does. And it's an issue. It's an issue. And you can go listen to these other shows, and I promote you to do it because I like to support everybody. But you're going to hear a lot of Najee should be paid, Najee's the best, Najee's so great, but they don't break down the numbers. You know, they're just going along with what the fan base wants sometimes. You know, if there's a majority of the fan base that loves Najee Harris, they're going to try to kiss your ass because they want your subscription, they want your view, they want your click. I'm not doing that. I'm going to tell you the truth. Najee Harris is highly inconsistent. I thought that he had turned a corner. When he had those 3 100-yard performances in a row, I thought to myself, Najee is finally starting to turn the corner. And I don't expect him to get a 100-yard game every week. I don't. But I do expect you to be a contributor each and every week. And he is not that each and every week, guys. And why do you think that they didn't pay him? They see that too. And this isn't rocket science on the way to figure it out on why the Steelers didn't give Najee Harris the 5th-year option, why the Steelers didn't work out a long-time extension with Najee Harris. This isn't a puzzle. This is a real obvious fucking answer. They don't think he's consistent enough, period. Tomlin, we did that. Najee definitely. Craig Werle, hopefully Eagles takes the Ratbirds out this weekend. Yeah, too. You know, one other thing. Maybe the Eagles are resting players at that time, too. The Steelers could get a couple cheap wins, man. One against 2 of the best teams on their schedule. They could get just a couple cheapo wins because those teams are sitting their players. I'll take it. I don't give a shit how it happens. I'll take it. All right, guys, you got to double tap that screen. 19 likes ain't enough for us here on Steel City Live. We got to raise the level of play. You got to share. You got to like. Comments are awesome. You guys are the best at commenting. You guys are absolutely phenomenal in the comments. You guys make it happen. I didn't change the light bulb, so you're getting that change. And I said I was doing it right after the show, and I didn't because Mr. Jackson, my son, every 5 minutes he's hungry. So as soon as I came out, boom, what did he say? Dad, I need to eat. So, you know, Dad got to get on Dad Patrol and hit it up for him and make him his 15th meal of the day. All right, guys, make sure you're putting your comments, questions, and concerns inside of the chat. Also hitting that like button, also hitting that share button. That's so important. We're going to go for a little bit longer here on a Tuesday edition of Steel City Live. We love talking each and every day to you guys. This is the only place on the internet, only place on YouTube that doesn't just say it as lip service that your voice will be heard. Your voice will be heard here each and every day on Steel City Live. Let's keep going. Tomlin chased Bruce Arians out of town. Yeah, I can't remember that situation, James, but you're probably right, brother. Craig Werlo, could Pickens get suspended for what happened at the end of the game? No, Craig, he's not going to be suspended. There may be some lip service out there and say that that's a possibility, but it ain't going to happen. George Pickens won't be suspended for that bullshit that happened. But I can tell you this, what it's going to do is probably get him a fine and probably put him on the list of violators in which if he really does something significant again, he probably will be suspended. And that will be a big thing and a big check mark for the Steelers. They probably won't want to re-sign a guy that's not available for, the Chiefs game because he did something stupid, not available for the Eagles game this year because he did something stupid and he's suspended. Maybe he's not available for that first playoff game because he got out of character in the final game in a high emotion game. I don't know. I'm just throwing scenarios out there. It may cost George Pickens a shit ton of money, so he better tread lightly and start to learn how to handle himself. There's nothing wrong with talking shit. There's nothing wrong with being highly emotional. professional. You just can't beat people up all the time or throw people around or anything. And I understand there's two sides to the fight too, but once you're labeled, and that's how it's going to fly here in the NFL world we live in today. Let's go. Robert Rhodes says, as I have stated a few times already, the 2025 draft class is absolutely loaded with running backs. No need to pay big money to Najee. I agree with you, Robert. I agree with you. Downtown. It's just sad that we all see the issues of Tomlin and his words of a puzzle. Geez. Yeah, we do. But we don't see what goes behind closed doors. So, we don't get the whole picture, and that's the truth. And that is being honest and fair. We don't get to see every day what he does in that building. We don't get to see those variables. So maybe the Hard Knocks show might be pretty cool to see exactly maybe what goes on. I know you won't get the full picture, but you never know. James Bauman, offense could be helped if they would throw on first down once in a while. Brown's game was so predictable. Yeah, guys, and I've been telling you this for 2 seasons now. I can sit on the couch and I can tell you what the Steelers are going to do. So can you. I mean, it's very obvious. And I can tell that usually by formations that they're in. They're very elementary in their formations. They are not complex. This offense is not complex. If I can understand it, you guys can understand it. Tell me that a defensive coordinator that's opposing them can't. That's an issue, and that's been going on for quite some time. And the only common denominator in that is one person. But dare everybody ever say that? Like I said, anytime I bash Tomlin, I lose so many subscribers. It's fucking hilarious, man. Before I forget, happy Thanksgiving. Well, happy Thanksgiving to you too, Craig. Appreciate that. DJ Tommins, Pickens will be watched the way Harrison was, fine after fine. Yeah, that's how it happens. D, I just wanted to pop in and tell y'all hello. Y'all are awesome and Jesus loves you. Hit that like and click that bell. Thank you, D. Good to see you, man. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family, man. Appreciate you. John Broadway, good night, Yuns. Here we go, Steelers fan. Good night, Don. DJ Thomas, switching gears. If you had to pick a Super Bowl matchup, obviously Steelers all the way. But let's stay no Steelers, no Chiefs. Bills versus Lions. Yeah, DJ, but you can't take teams out of the equation. You know what I mean? You got to leave them all in. And honestly, I thought about this earlier, DJ. To be quite honest with you, as Mike Tomlin says. But anyway, I thought about this earlier. I really think the Minnesota Vikings or the Detroit Lions will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. I think that is a slam dunk to me. And I think in the AFC, it's probably going to be 9 times out of 10 the Buffalo Bills. Now, I'm not going to say the Chiefs are that one as we watched in Endgame Avengers. The one time, the one opportunity, the one scenario, I think it would be the Steelers. I think the Steelers are the second best team in this conference, and you can hang me if you want, but I still do. I believe this football team, as it sits right now, is the most equipped, is the second best team right now in this conference. I think they find ways to win, and I know the Chiefs do too, but the Chiefs have a lot of chinks in their armor that just haven't been exposed yet, and they've been close to having them exposed, but we'll see. We'll see if that house of cards starts to tumble a little bit. Guys, it's almost impossible to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. And we got to play the numbers and the odds. And the chances are no. I know, James. I know, bro. I know. Too bad I ain't even got $10. I might have 5. I might have a 5er on me. YouTube brother, thank you. DJ Thomas, nobody wants the Chiefs. Hello. Yeah, I'm sick of seeing the Chiefs. Let's get some new blood in there. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. You guys have been awesome, man. We'll be back tomorrow, Wednesday night, as we dive into Bengals week here fully. I'm going to go through some tape of the Cincinnati Bengals. So I'm going to dive into them. I'm going to dive into the Steelers a little bit more, and I'm going to give you keys, maybe keys to victory. We'll see. But we're going to talk a little bit about their defense tomorrow of the Cincinnati Bengals. I think that will be the main topic, and then we'll start into the offense of the Bengals also. I think that's what we'll talk about tomorrow. So go ahead. Study up, come prepared to have some good conversation about the Bengals and what they look like as a football team and how this is all going to match up for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we're going to roll with it, man. And thank you so much to all you guys that are so loyal that come here each and every day. You are the reason that I keep doing it. And you're special, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, guys. Until tomorrow, I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports and the show Steel City Live. Peace, guys.